Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? Today we're going to talk about the Fuji X100f. This camera is about 2 years old now, I believe coming up on 3. And is it still usable in 2021? And I'm going to give up some of the pros and cons of it in 2021. In terms of some of the pros, the one I really like is that it's just very small. It's like a very small camera, and it's something that you can easily just throw around your neck, and it could always be carried with you. And that's something I really enjoy about it. And I've taken some shots just walking around a small town, stuff like that, or just always bringing it with me. And that's the fun thing that I really like about it, is that you can always bring it with you. Another great thing is that it's a fixed lens camera, so automatically it comes with the 35mm equivalent. And honestly, that focal length is really solid for most things you're gonna want. It's wide enough that you can get some shots that you really enjoy, and I'll show you definitely in the photos at the end. And it can be not tight enough, because tight would be like a 50mm, like it's the perfect tight in between, I would say. But the 35, you can still shoot portraits with it, especially, you know, above the hip and stuff like that. Like, it's definitely a usable thing. The other great thing about it in 2021 is that you can just find it for around $600, $650, and $700 if it's in pristine condition. And for $650, you're finding a decent one. I think that's a relatively great camera that you can bring with you every day for the most part. I will say that you're definitely gonna have to go the used route, and you're not gonna want to pay new for this, because I believe new it's like $1,100 or something like that, if you can find it new. But still, I think overall, or I think it was like about $1,000, but overall, $650 is not bad for a great everyday camera. Another great thing about it is that it's just really easy to use. Some of the things you can see here is that it just has, you know, analog controls, and that's something that, like, and it's an EVF, so you can easily just see your exposure right away, and it's just very easy to use. I believe that anyone could kind of pick this camera up and be able to use it. And the color science is just amazing. Fuji's awesome with colors, and I think you'll see at the end that just some of the great color you can get out of this camera is one of the reasons why I just can't get rid of it, and I just have to keep it with me. With the good comes the bad, and so some of the cons I would say going into 2021, especially if you're just trying to get a secondary camera, is it uses the same sensor as the X Pro 2, which is a little older, and you'll notice in low light it can be quite rough for the autofocus. If you're relying on autofocus, it can be kind of rough to it just hunts a lot basically in low light. Also, you're gonna really have to rely on light, either, you know, external light or natural light at nighttime if you're really going to want to take some night photos. I will definitely make sure to show you some photos I've taken in the night here. And as you can see here, it's like you really are relying on those natural light thing. Another issue with that being said is I find myself wanting the X100V because of the lack of weather sealing in the X100f. I know, and I've taken it out in sketchier situations, and I've been lucky, but I know not everyone's been as lucky as me in terms of their X100f working after getting rained on. So make sure that you keep that in mind, that it's not weather sealed. And finally, I think one of the biggest cons that I have is because it's a fixed lens and you're not able to change that out, you're gonna want the lens to be sharp all the way through. And unfortunately, and I can show you guys right here, and this is just a basic product shot. I mean, it's very, very soft at f2, and I think that's the biggest issue I have with this lens specifically, is that it's super soft. But overall, I will say the camera's amazing, and it's an awesome everyday camera, and I'd never regret buying it. I think it's a good investment if you want a B cam. I wouldn't use it as my main cam. I would definitely go in the used market for the X Pro 2, or the used market for the X100V because they are weather sealed, and I think that that's the really important thing for an everyday camera. But do I regret my purchase? Not at all. I think it's, as long as you keep that weather sealing in mind, it's an amazing everyday camera. And I'll make sure to show some photos here of, you know, just some of the great colors you can get out of it. And with that being said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about the X100F. And I'll let the photos do the talking at the end. All right, see you guys later.